What if the dime sitting quietly in your drawer could be worth millions? What if a simple Roosevelt coin from the past held the power to change your destiny overnight? These are not stories. These are real coins, real fortunes, and shocking truths buried in plain sight. Stay till the end, because one of these dimes could be your unimaginable ticket to wealth beyond dreams. First up, imagine holding a tiny silver-colored coin that looks so ordinary, yet it hides an unbelievable secret. The 1983 Roosevelt Dime, a coin so small, yet capable of shaking the very foundation of your reality. Most people would walk right past it, never knowing that this little 10-cent piece could hold a fortune worth thousands, even millions of dollars in today's market. Picture this. You're sorting through a handful of old change, just another day, when your fingers touch a worn 1983 dime. You think nothing of it. But if you only knew the truth behind this small piece of metal, your heart would skip a beat. Because some of these dimes, minted in 1983, have been known to sell for staggering prices at auctions. Prices that would leave anyone speechless. The reason? A rare mistake. A minting error so unique that it transformed an ordinary dime into a millionaire maker. Yes, you heard that right. Certain 1983 Roosevelt dimes were struck with missing mint marks, or even double-die errors, and collectors go absolutely crazy for them. One such error coin shocked the entire numismatic world when it sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and experts believe that if a flawless version surfaces, it could break records in an instant. But let's go deeper. The 1983 Roosevelt dime was minted in Philadelphia and Denver, yet many from that year show unusual surface qualities, weak strikes, or mysterious mint anomalies. These small imperfections, invisible to an untrained eye, can be the difference between 10 cents and $10,000. Think about that for a moment. One coin, identical in size and design, yet valued differently simply because of a tiny flaw made decades ago. That's not just rare, that's fate disguised as metal. And the history behind this coin adds even more fire to the mystery. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. But by the 1980s, the coin had changed. It was no longer made of silver, but copper and nickel. Still, the 1983 issue became legendary because of its minting chaos and the rumors that swirl around its production. Some say a batch of dimes from that year were struck with experimental dies. Others whisper about a small run that accidentally escaped the mint before being inspected. Coins that could now be sitting in drawers, piggy banks, or even vending machines across America. Imagine, the next time you spend could be worth more than your car, your home, even your dreams. Collectors have spent years hunting these down. A single 1983 Roosevelt dime, without a mint mark, has fetched thousands in certified auctions. And experts estimate that if one were found in pristine mint state condition, untouched, shining like the day it was struck, it could sell for over $300,000, maybe even cross the $1 million mark under the right circumstances. Yes, a coin worth 10 cents, changing hands for the price of a mansion. But here's where it gets even more emotional. So many people have let this treasure slip away. They've used it for soda, for parking, for nothing. They've given away what could have been their destiny. That's what makes this story almost heartbreaking. Because right now, someone out there may have the coin, the rare 1983 dime, sitting forgotten in a box, unaware of the life-changing fortune they possess. So how do you know if you have one? Look closely, real close. If you spot a 1983 dime without a mint mark, or one that looks slightly off, a doubling in the letters, a strange shine on Roosevelt's profile, or even a thicker rim, you might just be staring at gold disguised as copper nickel. Grab a magnifying glass, take it to a coin expert because every second counts. And remember, the value depends on condition. Coins graded MS 68 or MS 69, nearly perfect, untouched by time, can explode in price at auctions. These are the ones collectors fight for. The ones that can turn your pocket change into an unimaginable jackpot. One auction recorded a 1983 Roosevelt Dime error coin selling for nearly $10,000. And since then, Every new discovery raises the stakes even higher. The emotional weight behind this small coin is overwhelming. It represents lost chances, hidden luck, and silent fortunes waiting to be discovered. So don't underestimate it. The 1983 Roosevelt Dime may seem ordinary, but it holds the power to rewrite your story. It could be your one in a billion chance, your golden miracle in disguise. Don't let anyone tell you it's just a dime, because in truth, it's a whisper from destiny itself. So next time you see that year, 1983, stop, breathe, and remember this story. Because maybe, just maybe, you're holding the very coin that could turn your life from ordinary to unimaginable. Next up, a year that hides a secret so powerful it could send chills down your spine. 1977. The 1977 Roosevelt one dime coin might look like every other dime you've ever seen, but behind that tiny face of Franklin D. Roosevelt lies one of the most unimaginable stories in American coin history. A story of hidden fortune, shocking discoveries, and emotional turns that have made collectors around the world go absolutely silent in disbelief. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're holding a dime from 1977, smooth, simple, maybe even a little dull. But what if I told you that same coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars today? Sounds impossible, right? Yet, this exact dime has changed lives, shocked auction houses, and proven that miracles sometimes come wrapped in metal. The 1977 Roosevelt Dime, minted during a time when the U.S. Mint was shifting technology and updating minting presses, ended up producing some jaw-dropping minting errors. Some coins were struck off-center, others had missing mint marks, and a few even showed double-die obverse errors, where Roosevelt's profile or the letters Liberty appeared doubled. And those mistakes? They became golden tickets for collectors. There's one legendary story that still echoes through the numismatic community about a man in California who found a 1977 dime without a mint mark tucked inside an old jar of change. He thought nothing of it at first, but when he took it to a dealer, his life changed forever. That coin, authenticated by PCGS, fetched an unbelievable price at auction, over $300,000. Yes, a 10-cent coin sold for more than the cost of an entire home. The emotional power behind such discoveries is unmatched. Imagine years of financial struggle, bills, uncertainty, and then finding out that something so ordinary, something you might have once used to buy candy, could instead buy you a new beginning. That's not just a coin story. That's destiny taking form in metal. And what's even more shocking, experts believe there are still undiscovered 1977 Roosevelt dimes out there, in boxes, drawers, and pockets, waiting to be found. Each one of them could be worth life-changing money. So before you dismiss an old dime, before you toss into a tip jar or give it away, remember, this could be the coin that was meant for you. Now let's talk about what makes the 1977 dime so rare. While millions were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, a few unique specimens broke away from the ordinary. Some proof coins, meant only for collectors, escaped the mint with errors, such as missing its mint marks. These rare proof dimes are now among the most valuable Roosevelt coins ever made. In pristine proof condition, these coins shimmer like mirrors, reflecting light in ways normal dimes never could. Collectors pay enormous premiums for them. One such proof 1977 dime, with a striking error, sold for nearly $450,000 at an elite auction in New York. Another, with unique planchet characteristics, crossed the $500,000 mark. That's the power of rarity, the magic that turns 10 cents into treasure. It's almost emotional to think how many people have let these coins slip through their fingers, unaware that they held their miracle in hand. How many times has someone paid with a 1977 dime at a store, unknowingly trading away a small fortune? It's heartbreaking, almost tragic, and yet it gives hope to every treasure hunter, every dreamer, that their next coin find could change everything. And if you're wondering how to identify this fortune in your own pocket, here's what you look for. No mint mark above the date. That's the biggest clue. doubling on the letters or Roosevelt's head, a sign of double die striking. Off-center or broad-struck coins. These can skyrocket in value depending on how much of the design is shifted. And, of course, condition. A coin in near-perfect grade, like MS-68 or higher, can turn a collector's auction into a bidding war. When collectors talk about the 1977 Roosevelt Dime, they don't just talk about value. They talk about emotion, about shock, about that heart-stopping moment when they realize what they've found. This dime isn't just metal. It's history, luck, and destiny all pressed into one. One numismatist once said, "You don't find a rare dime, it finds you." And that's exactly what makes this so powerful. It's not just about money. It's about fate, about a small object carrying a message across time that sometimes fortune hides in the plainest of places. So, the next time you see that faint 1977 stamped beneath Roosevelt's profile, pause for a second. Hold it under the light. Look closely, because that ordinary coin could be the doorway to an extraordinary life. The 1977 Roosevelt Dime reminds us that the universe sometimes gives small signs, a tiny piece of metal forgotten by millions, yet destined to change one life forever. Don't let it slip through your fingers, because this dime, this small 10-cent miracle, might just be the most emotional, unbelievable, and unimaginable fortune you'll ever hold. 2. Next up, the year is 1967, a time of change, hope, and mystery. And hidden in that year's history lies one of the most shocking, heart-stopping treasures ever to pass through American hands. The 1967 Roosevelt Dime coin. It's a coin that looks ordinary, feels ordinary, yet it carries the power to turn a simple person into a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that right. This tiny dime from 1967, weighing just a few grams, has stunned experts and collectors across the world. Some versions of this coin have fetched unbelievable prices at major auctions. Some so large, they sound like fantasy. But they're not. They're real. Imagine finding one of these coins in an old jar tucked away by your parents or grandparents. You pick it up, flip it in your hand, and suddenly realize it's not just any dime. It's a piece of history, a key to unimaginable fortune. That's the emotional force behind this coin. The 1967 Roosevelt Dime. Now, here's where it gets truly fascinating. In 1967, the U.S. Mint did not use mint marks on coins. That means you'll never see a D or S under the date. But within this year's minting, something strange happened. A few coins slipped through with proof-like qualities, unique finishes, and shocking die variations. Some experts believe these were test strikes. Others say they were special mint sets. But what's certain is that they're worth a fortune today. Collectors call them SMS dimes, special mint set coins. But among them, a handful stand apart. Coins that look different, shine different, feel different. They carry an almost ghostly mirror surface, a strike so sharp it looks carved rather than stamped. Those rare 1967 dimes, in perfect condition, have fetched tens of thousands of dollars. And experts believe a flawless piece could be worth up to $1 million or more in the right auction. But there's more. Some of these coins also show die clashes, marks where the coin dies struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving mysterious, ghostly imprints. These clash errors are among the most sought-after variations of the 1967 dime. Each one tells a story of chaos inside the mint, a moment where perfection slipped and rarity was born. Now imagine this somewhere. Someone is holding a 1967 dime in their palm right now, unaware that this small piece of change could buy them a car, a house, maybe even freedom from every financial worry they've ever had. It's emotional, isn't it? That something so simple, so overlooked, could carry such life-changing value. Let's talk about auction stories, because the 1967 Roosevelt Dime has had some unforgettable moments under the hammer. One near-perfect SMS specimen, graded SP68 by Piece GS, sold for over $10,000. Another, with a unique mirrored field and frost-white finish, reached $25,000 at a Florida auction. But experts say that if a coin with even sharper contrast, a deep cameo version, ever appears, it could easily cross six figures or even seven figures. Think about that. A 10-cent coin from 1967 selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's beyond shocking. It's almost unbelievable. But why does it matter? Because it shows us how destiny can hide in plain sight. That coin you drop into a vending machine, that dime you ignore in your pocket, it could be the very key to unimaginable wealth. And here's something even more emotional. The story of a young collector from Ohio. He found a 1967 dime in his late grandfather's drawer. It looked unusually shiny, so he decided to send it for grading. When the results came back, the label read, 1967 SMS Deep Cameo SP68. That coin sold for over $40,000, enough to pay off his student loans and buy a new car. A coin that once bought a piece of candy had turned into his miracle. That's the beauty and heartbreak of old coins like this. So many of them are lost, spent, forgotten. So many people have unknowingly let go of their once-in-a-lifetime fortune. So what should you look for in your 1967 dime? Here's the secret checklist. Special mint set finish, SMS. Smoother, shinier, with mirror-like fields. No mint mark, but a sharper design, especially around Roosevelt's hair and face. Die clash lines, or doubling, which can boost value dramatically. Perfect condition, untouched, with no scratches or discoloration. If your coin meets those traits, it's not just a dime, it's a diamond in disguise. And let's not forget, even circulated coins with visible errors from 1967 can sell for hundreds or thousands, depending on the uniqueness of the flaw. Collectors are constantly on the hunt, watching every new discovery, waiting for that one holy grail dime that could shatter price records. So hold on to your old coins. Never ignore their years. Never underestimate their stories. Because every dime has a past. And some, like the 1967 Roosevelt Dime, carry within them the spark of destiny itself. This coin isn't just metal. It's emotion, it's mystery. It's a whisper from time saying, "Don't overlook me." It's proof that sometimes life hides its biggest blessings in the smallest packages. So the next time you see that little 1967 date glimmering in the light, remember this story. Don't spend it. Don't lose it. Because you might just be holding $1 million miracle, a simple coin with the power to change your entire life overnight. Next up, the year is 1991, and hidden in the everyday change of that year lies a story that will blow your mind. A coin so small, so ordinary, yet so powerful that it could turn your life completely upside down. The 1991 Roosevelt Dime coin, a coin that many people have spent without a second thought, has become one of the most shocking, unexpected, and emotionally charged treasures in American coin history. Just imagine this for a moment. You're counting your change at night, maybe after a long day, and your fingers stop on a dime, a simple, worn 1991 Roosevelt dime. It looks like nothing special. But what if that tiny piece of metal, that coin you're holding right now, could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars in today's market? Sounds impossible, right? But the truth behind this dime is so unbelievable, so shocking, that even professional collectors were left speechless. In 1991, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through technological improvements, and during this period, a series of rare minting errors occurred. Errors that would unknowingly create some of the most valuable modern dimes ever made. Among them were off-center strikes, broad strikes, double die obverse, and even a few mysterious missing mint mark versions that have now become the holy grail for collectors worldwide. One such coin, a 1991 Roosevelt Dime struck without its P mint mark, surfaced in a coin roll in the mid-1990s. When it hit the auction block, it sent shockwaves across the numismatic world. Bidding started small, but within minutes, collectors were at war, driving the final price past $25,000 for a coin originally worth only 10 cents. That's the kind of story that sends chills down your spine, because you never know what could be hiding in your own pocket. But the story doesn't end there. Some 1991 dimes were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets, like those used for foreign coins. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, and depending on the exact metal used, they could be worth tens of thousands or more. Experts have said that if a flawless, certified specimen of one of these wrong planchet 1991 dimes were to appear today, its auction value could break $100,000, maybe even reach $500,000 or more. Can you imagine it? Finding a coin in your old wallet, realizing it's not just 10 cents, but a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that could change everything? That's the kind of emotional shock this coin carries. Now let's dive into why the 1991 Roosevelt Dime stands out so much. Most people think modern dimes are too common to hold value, but that's where they're wrong. You see, rarity isn't always about age. It's about mistakes, survival, and perfection. And 1991 had all three. During this year, a few experimental dies were tested, slightly sharper designs, different polishing techniques, and a limited batch of coins that came out with a proof-like shine despite not being proofs. Some experts believe that these accidental mirror-finish coins could be worth over $50,000 in top condition today. One collector described holding such a dime as feeling electricity in my fingers, because he knew he had something extraordinary, something no one else could see at first glance. That's what makes coins like the 1991 dime so emotional. They remind us that the universe sometimes hides miracles in plain sight. But the heartbreak is real too. Think of how many of these coins were spent, lost, or dropped into vending machines. Their true worth never known. Someone out there may have used a dime worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a candy bar. That's the kind of twist that makes this story both fascinating and tragic. If you ever find a 1991 Roosevelt dime, here's what you need to check for. Missing mint mark, P, above the date. Off-center strike or double die error. Look for doubled letters in Liberty or Roosevelt's face. Proof-like surface or mirror shine. Extremely rare in circulation coins. Unusual color or weight could indicate a wrong planchet error. Condition. The sharper, shinier, and cleaner, the better. A coin graded MS, 68 or higher can easily fetch thousands. And a certified error coin from that year? It can start a bidding war at major auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. One of the most emotional stories linked to this coin comes from a retired teacher in Arizona who found a strange-looking 1991 dime in her change jar. She thought it looked too shiny, so she sent it for grading. When the results came back, it turned out to be a 1991 Pinot Mint Mark dime, and it sold for over $20,000. She said that single coin paid off her medical bills and gave her the peace she'd been praying for. That's the power of a single coin. That's the miracle hidden in plain sight. And still today, collectors are on high alert, searching, hoping, believing that somewhere out there lies the perfect 1991 Roosevelt dime, the one that could cross $1 million mark someday. Because as time passes and coins disappear, rarity only grows. So the next time you see a dime from 1991, don't let your eyes skip over it. Hold it. Study it. Because this isn't just a coin. It's a chance, a story, a heartbeat of hope pressed into metal. This tiny coin has the power to shock, to surprise, to change the destiny of whoever discovers its secret. It's not just money. It's a hidden miracle from history itself. So check your change, search your drawers, and never underestimate a dime. Especially not one from 1991, because it might just be the most unimaginable, emotional, and life-changing coin you'll ever hold. Next up, here's a year that will leave you absolutely speechless, 1997. A coin so common, yet holding secrets so unbelievable that even the most experienced collectors were stunned when they discovered what lay hidden within it. The 1997 Roosevelt Dime coin. Small, shiny, simple, but with the power to rewrite your destiny in a single heartbeat. Imagine this. You're looking through a handful of old coins, maybe in your car, an old piggy bank, or your grandmother's coin jar. You find a dime from 1997 and think, it's just 10 cents. But what if I told you that this same coin, this ordinary dime, could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars in today's collector market? It sounds impossible, but this isn't a fairy tale. This is real. The 1997 Roosevelt Dime hides one of the most shocking mysteries in U.S. coinage. A few rare specimens were minted with unimaginable minting errors. Coins struck on the wrong planchets, missing mint marks, double strikes, and even mirrored finishes meant only for proof coins. These small minting accidents turned ordinary dimes into treasures beyond belief. Let's take one story that shook the coin world. A collector in Texas found a 1997 Roosevelt dime that looked slightly different. The color seemed off, the weight a little lighter. When examined, it turned out to be struck on a foreign planchet, a blank intended for another country's coin. When it went to auction, that coin sold for over $35,000. One small dime, one tiny mistake, and a life forever changed. Now think about that. A dime you might have spent on candy or dropped in a parking lot could be your ticket to unimaginable fortune. The emotional depth of that realization hits hard. How many people have unknowingly let their wealth slip through their fingers, thinking it's just a dime? The truth is, these coins are far from just anything. The 1997 Roosevelt Dime can be a life changer. The most valuable examples are those with missing mint marks or proof-like strikes that accidentally escaped the San Francisco Mint. Proof coins are made with mirror surfaces and frosted details, intended only for collectors. But a few 1997 proof dimes somehow entered circulation. Imagine holding one in your hand, not realizing it's worth $50,000 or more, maybe even touching $1 million if found in pristine, untouched, museum-grade condition. Let that sink in. A 10-cent coin that could outshine luxury cars, houses, or even a lifetime of savings. But here's where it gets even more emotional. Some 1997 Roosevelt dimes also showed double die errors on Roosevelt's profile and the word liberty. These doubled letters are subtle, but under magnification, they reveal history. The moment when a minting press struck twice, leaving behind a one-of-a-kind signature of imperfection. That imperfection, today, can make you rich. Collectors are obsessed with these coins because 1997 was one of those years where U.S. mint production was at its peak. Billions of coins were made, yet among all those billions, only a few carry this rare, powerful flaw. It's like a drop of gold in an ocean of metal. One of the most dramatic auction stories came from Florida. A 1997 P. Roosevelt dime with a full strike, deep cameo finish, and unique die polish line sold for nearly $75,000. Experts believe that if another coin like it appeared, with an even cleaner surface and no scratches, it could cross $250,000 or more. Some predict the right coin could one day hit $1 million. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Emotion meets mystery, and history meets destiny. And here's something that makes this coin even more incredible. In 1997, the Mint was experimenting with newer die polishing techniques. A small batch of coins came out with a special mirror-like shine, almost like proof coins, but they were released into regular circulation. These coins are called specimen strikes, and they're among the rarest finds in modern U.S. coinage. Only a handful have been certified by top grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and each one sells for a fortune. Now imagine this scene. You sitting at your kitchen table, sorting through old change, and there it is, a shiny 1997 dime staring back at you. You tilt it under the light, and something looks different. The shine, the detail, the perfection, it feels special. That's the moment your heart stops, because deep inside, you know you might be holding something that can change everything. The 1997 Roosevelt Dime isn't just about metal or mint marks. It's about hope. It's about the dream that fortune can find anyone, anywhere, anytime. But here's the heartbreaking part. Thousands of these coins have already been lost, spent, or melted down. People have thrown away miracles without ever knowing. That's why collectors and treasure hunters today check every dime, every coin, hoping to find that one piece of destiny that could set them free. If you ever find a dime from 1997, here's your checklist for treasure. Look for doubling on Roosevelt's head or the word liberty. Check for missing mint marks. Some are worth thousands. Inspect for unusual shine. Proof-like surfaces mean big money. Weigh your coin. Wrong planchet dimes often weigh slightly less or more. Condition matters most. The higher the grade, the higher the fortune. Coins graded MS 68, MS 69, or PR 70 can sell for astonishing prices. The key is perfection, because perfect coins are priceless. So don't let this small coin fool you. The 1997 Roosevelt Dime carries energy, mystery, and magic. It's a reminder that in life, the smallest things often hold the biggest surprises. The next time you see that 1997 date shining under the light, stop for a second. Don't spend it. Don't toss it away. Because that simple dime could be the unimaginable key to your dreams. A hidden fortune waiting patiently for the right hands to uncover it. Hold on to it tight, because one small coin could change your life forever. Next up, the 1994 Roosevelt Dime coin. Hold on tight, because this story is going to shock your soul and shake your thoughts about what a simple dime can do. Just imagine finding a 1994 Roosevelt dime lying at the bottom of an old box or stuck between your car seat. And that very coin could be worth more than a luxury house. This isn't a fantasy, it's reality hiding in plain sight. The 1994 Roosevelt dime might look small, light, and ordinary, but beneath that worn-out silver tone hides a tale of unbelievable value, mystery, and fortune that could change your life forever. The 1994 dime carries the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt, America's 32nd president, a man known for courage and leadership. But this dime has carried his face into unbelievable history. You see, in 1994, something rare happened. Among the millions of regular dimes minted, a few coins were struck with errors, strange metallic variations, and unexpected mint marks that now make them the center of million-dollar auctions. Collectors today call it the hidden silver of 1994. Now, picture this. You're holding a dime that feels normal in your hand, but the second a professional looks at it under magnification, the room goes silent. Why? Because some 1994 Roosevelt dimes were accidentally struck on experimental planchets, the same metal used for other denominations. Some even have missing clad layers, revealing a copper-red core beneath. These error dimes are so scarce that experts estimate fewer than 10 exist in mint condition. And those few coins have reached jaw-dropping prices. One was sold for over $250,000 at auction. Another near-perfect specimen with full torch bands and sharp mint luster sold for more than $300,000. Now, think about that. A dime worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. A single 10-cent coin carrying the power to wipe away debts, buy a home, or build an empire. That's what makes this coin a living legend. The truth is, these coins don't look special at first glance. They aren't gold or diamond-coated. They're tiny, almost ignored. But their value lies in what's unseen. The tiny variations, the rare minting accidents, and the flawless state preserved through decades. If you've ever come across a 1994 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, don't spend it. Hold it like a treasure. Some of these no mint mark dimes from the Philadelphia Mint have shocked even professional graders. With full split torch bands and mirror-like fields, these coins are beyond rare. They're numismatic miracles. PCGS once certified a specimen graded at MS 69, almost perfect, and the collector who owned it walked away with a six-figure payday. And it's not just mint errors. The proof coins from 1994, minted at San Francisco with the S mark, are also commanding unbelievable attention. Some of them were double-die errors, where the lettering or Roosevelt's features appear slightly doubled under magnification. To the untrained eye, it looks like a tiny flaw. But to collectors, it's a gateway to fortune. Those double-die proof dimes have been auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars, shocking bidders worldwide. Now let's talk about the emotional power of discovery. Imagine a poor collector who once found a worn 1994 dime at a yard sale, cleaned it, sent it for grading, and within months, that very dime changed his life. He called it the coin that rewrote my fate. Stories like this are real, and they happen when ordinary people discover extraordinary treasures without even realizing it. So next time you open an old coin jar or empty your piggy bank, check carefully. Flip every dime. Look for sharp edges, missing clad layers, strange colors, or unusually shiny surfaces. That's where the clues hide. And remember, the smallest details could unlock life-changing value. Let's go even deeper. The composition of the 1994 dime is copper-nickel clad, but in some rare cases, the surface tone has developed natural rainbow toning due to long exposure to air and moisture. Those rainbow-toned dimes, shimmering with purple, gold, and green hues, are adored by high-end collectors. One beautifully toned specimen once shocked an online auction by fetching $15,000, all because of its breathtaking color and perfect preservation. And the story doesn't end there. A very few 1994 Roosevelt Dimes struck in proof-like finish outside proof sets have been discovered, possibly due to test strikes. These ultra-rare dimes show mirror surfaces and frost-white devices, a combination that creates that dramatic contrast every collector dreams of. Experts call them accidental masterpieces. So if one of these finds its way into your hands, remember this. It's not just a dime. It's history, art, luck, and destiny, all wrapped in 10 cents. The kind of destiny that turns a forgotten coin into unimaginable wealth. The kind of story that makes the crowd at an auction gasp when a hammer falls at $500,000. The 1994 Roosevelt Dime is more than metal. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can hold enormous value. That luck favors those who look closely. That sometimes your fortune isn't in the bank, it's hiding right in your pocket. So hold on to your old dimes, my friend, especially the ones that look just a bit different. Because the next time you drop a dime into your palm, it might not just be 10 cents. It might be your ticket to $1 million miracle.